Welcome everyone, today we'll have another part of Exile guide for beginners. For this one, we still focus on sockets and gems. This time, what we want to do is, often something happens to me is, I take this off, I was like, oh my gosh, why is this item red and where did my stats go? So without having enough stats, I can't actually use this item. This is not because the item requirement is too high, this is because one of the gems requires 58 DX, which I actually don't have 58 DX. So I needed the chest armor to be placed in to have 58 DX. This can start a chain reaction, so if you lose one of your items as an upgrade and it doesn't have all the stats you wanted, some of the item goes red and this stat added onto this item, which is 8 DX, goes red as well, and it goes red on the other ones, it starts a chain reaction. So you really have to be aware what happens when you have items changed. And how do you avoid this? Well, there's two ways. One is to put the item back, but if you want to replace this item, then what you can do is you can take the gem off. So notice here, the item is not red because the gem is taken off. The gem is the one that can't be used. It's not the item. So what's happening is this particular gem requires 58 DX. I can simply find a lower level gem which requires less DX. The effect will be lower, but it is okay because I can still use the gem. Now there's another trick to it. If you want the gem in, and if you don't want to reduce the level of the gem, because each level of the gem goes up, the requirement for the stats goes up, you can actually consider crafting for some of the special effects. So if I put the gears in, and I can look over here, we can look towards, oh, this is a fully crafted, this is crafted, so let's look into that. So I can look into some of the raw stats which might help us. Here it has the raw stats with strength, and other ones you can roll for other raw stats. So because it already has strength, you can only roll for strength, but the other ones, some of the rings here, you can actually roll for higher stats. So if you're missing a bit of the stats, you can actually roll those on your sockets of the rings, you can roll on your gears. So notice I can add the strength, dexterity, or intelligence onto the gears. This will give me a boost of stats. This allows me to continuously use my gear and also use the gems. There is another factor, of course. If you are not approaching the section with the crafting and you can't get the stats, so you have to balance, do I want the gem in or do I want the new gear? If it's the new gear in, you can simply take the gem off, and this still works because this gloves is not required to have the DX. But if you put this in, which I can't right now, it won't let me because they will actually disable the gloves. I can still do it this way. Then I need to find some of the passives within my talent tree which will actually give me the raw stats. There are lots of passive that gives you 10 DX, there's also passive that gives you 30 DX. So keep in mind, if you're pathing around, if you want those passives, you can actually perk for those. You can also disenchant, or you can also enchant your amulet for more of those stats with those passive perks, which we'll explain on the guide. But at the moment, if you're actually looking for stats like those, you can actually perk for those. So notice if I want DX, I can perk for those. That gives me 20 DX. You can easily reset your points later. Well, it's not that costly, but don't do this too much. So, resetting and perking randomly. But if you really desperately need the points, you can actually perk for more DX or more stats, which enables you to use your gears. And that's going to be very effective in early games of the game. Hey, this won't let me put it. Let's have a look. Did I actually? Oh gosh, I guess you leveled it up. No, I didn't, right? That's okay. So what happened is, why was I unable to put everything together? Is notice this gear itself actually plus 8 DX. I needed the 8 DX from the gear itself to actually get the socket in. So I put this one first. I have the correct DX, then I can put the socket in. Otherwise, I actually don't have the DX. So it's actually really fun and twisted around the build and different stats. I don't have a problem with intelligence or strength. Only problem is DX. Most builds requires 1 or 2, and sometimes you're short on 1. And for me, I'm really short on DX. And this build should help you recognize what's happening, why can't you use your gears, and what are the ways to adjust to use your gears. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you like this one, please subscribe to the YouTube channel for more POE guides and more tips as we go into a new season with the new league coming. Thank you again for watching. I'll see you guys next time.